The secret garden. Once, in the heart of the countryside, nestled between rolling green hills and tall, whispering trees, there stood a large, old house. Its stone walls were covered in ivy, and its tall windows reflected the soft, golden light of the afternoon sun. The house was quiet, save for the rustle of leaves and the occasional chirp of birds. In that house lived a girl named Eliza. She was 10 years old, with bright eyes that missed nothing and a curious mind that never seemed to rest. Eliza had come to live in the house with her great-aunt after her parents had gone overseas for work. At first, the quiet country life seemed dull to her, far different from the bustling city she had known. But she was not a girl to sit still for long. Every day, Eliza would explore the house and the grounds around it. There were endless corridors, strange old portraits, a library full of dusty books, and wide gardens that went on forever. But one thing puzzled her more than anything. Behind the house was a tall brick wall, partially hidden by overgrown bushes and thick ivy. No matter how she circled it, she could find no door. One day, as the wind blew gently through the trees and the scent of spring filled the air, Eliza stood before the wall again, brushing aside some ivy. Her fingers traced along the cool bricks until she felt something different, a metal shape hidden beneath the green. It was an old keyhole. Eliza's heart jumped. "There's a door!" she whispered. From that day forward, finding the key became her mission. She searched the attic and the library, and she even asked the old gardener, Mr. Thorne, if he knew of a hidden key. Mr. Thorne was a quiet man with kind eyes and a beard like a wild bush. He leaned on his shovel when Eliza asked him about the wall. "There hasn't been anyone in that garden for more than 20 years, he said slowly. "Used to be the lady of the house's pride and joy. It was full of roses, lilies, and songbirds. But when she passed, the door was locked, and the key was lost." Eliza's eyes widened. "So no one's been inside since?" "Not a soul." That night, Eliza dreamed of a garden with flowers blooming in every color, birds singing in the trees, and butterflies dancing in the air. When she awoke, she knew she had to find the key. Days passed. One afternoon, she was reading in the library when a very old book fell from a high shelf. Its spine cracked as it hit the floor. When she picked it up, something clinked inside. Hidden in a hollow space within the book's cover was an iron key, heavy and cold to the touch. Her fingers trembled as she held it. Could it be? Eliza ran to the wall. She brushed away the ivy and slipped the key into the old lock. It turned with a loud click. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow archway. Beyond it, a garden lay still and silent, untouched by time. Eliza stepped inside and gasped. Though the garden was overgrown, wild, and tangled, it was beautiful. Roses clung to broken trellises, vines crawled up stone benches, and the soft sound of water trickled from a forgotten fountain. The air was thick with the scent of earth and blooming things. She spent hours exploring, pulling away weeds, brushing dirt off statues, and listening to the birds return as the sun warmed the stone paths. Each day she returned, she brought tools, water, and seeds. She began to clean and plant, slowly bringing the garden back to life. But she didn't tell anyone. It was her secret. As the weeks passed, Eliza found peace in the garden. She talked to the plants as she worked, humming songs her mother used to sing. She read books beneath the flowering trees and watched butterflies flutter in the sun. Then, one day, she found something new, a small wooden door set into the stone base of the fountain. She opened it and discovered a box filled with old letters and drawings. They were from the lady who had once tended the garden, letters written to someone named Clara. One read, "Dear Clara, the garden is magic. I feel it in my bones. When I sit among the flowers, I forget all sadness. I hope one day someone will find this place and feel the same joy. Yours always, Margaret." Eliza clutched the letter to her heart. She felt as if she knew Margaret. Perhaps, she thought, the magic was real after all. Soon, the garden began to change. Where Eliza planted, flowers bloomed faster than normal. Trees that had not borne fruit in years now blossomed. Birds returned in flocks, and small animals made homes in the hedges. It was as though the garden had only been waiting for someone to love it again. One morning, as Eliza worked beside the fountain, she heard a voice. "What is this place?" She turned to see a boy standing in the doorway. He was about her age, with messy hair and a curious look on his face. Eliza stood, unsure whether to be angry or pleased. "Who are you?" "I'm Thomas," he said. "I live in the cottage near the woods. I saw you come through the wall." Eliza hesitated, then smiled. "It's a secret garden." Thomas's eyes widened as he looked around. "It's amazing." From that day on, Eliza shared the garden with him. Together they worked to clear paths, plant more flowers, and restore the old swing beneath the oak tree. They read stories aloud and played games among the flowers. As spring melted into summer, the garden flourished. Colors burst across every corner. Bees buzzed, frogs croaked near the fountain, and the air always seemed warm and gentle. Then came the storm. It was a night of fierce wind and thunder. Rain lashed the windows, and branches snapped like brittle sticks. Eliza lay awake, thinking only of the garden. At dawn, she ran to the door, heart pounding. Inside, she found destruction. Branches were broken, flowers torn from the earth, and the fountain cracked by a fallen limb. She dropped to her knees. "It's ruined," she whispered. Thomas came shortly after, panting from his run. He looked around, then placed a hand on her shoulder. "We can fix it," he said. Together, they worked every day. They cleared debris, mended the fountain, and replanted flowers. It took weeks, but slowly, the garden healed. When it bloomed again, it was brighter and more beautiful than before. Eliza realized then that the garden wasn't just a place. It was alive, in a way. It grew with love and care. It held memories. It gave peace and magic to those who believed in it. One day, Eliza brought her great-aunt to see it. The old woman, who rarely smiled, stood in silence as she looked around. "This was your grandmother's garden," she said softly. "I remember playing here as a girl. I never thought I'd see it again." She turned to Eliza and hugged her tightly. "You brought it back." That summer was the happiest Eliza had ever known. The garden became a place of stories, laughter, and friendship. Even Mr. Thorne began to visit, bringing seedlings and advice. Years later, when Eliza was grown, she returned often. She kept the garden secret still but shared it with those who needed its peace. She never forgot the day she found the key, or the letter from Margaret, or the magic that bloomed beneath the leaves. For hidden in the heart of the garden was something no storm could take, no time could fade. Love. And that was the truest secret of all.